got a lizard. He's cool. We don't get many reptiles. Meet Agave. Laura Clark from the Waukegan Humane Society. What kind of lizard is he?
He's a baby bearded dragon.
Ooh,
Look at him. Or her. We're not sure.
Okay.
When do we, is there an age we can know by?
When she gets a little older and things start to materialize, if you know what I mean.
All right.
Yeah.
I do.
So Agave, unfortunately, and I don't like to be a hater because it's the holiday season and that's wrong, but let me be honest. There are, in our community, some of the larger chain pet supply stores that sell live animals, including reptiles. And one of these particular stores right now has all of their reptiles on sale for the holiday season.
So this
What
is
a
like
great stocking
Yes.
stuffer.
This is like an ad we're doing for them right now.
And they're actually doing advertising. And so it is no surprise that in the past couple weeks, our facility has seen a big, drastic increase in things like reptiles.
So what happens there, Laura? Why does somebody buy one if they're not going to keep it?
Well, who wouldn't want this? He or she is the cutest little thing in the world. If you're in the store on an impulse,
Mommy,
oh my gosh.
I want a lizard.
Wouldn't this be fun?
So people are just changing their minds.
They change their minds or they buy the animal and they get home and mom or dad say absolutely not,
Right.
or they give it as a gift and your Aunt Ellen, who's wonderful, says, why in the world would I want a lizard or a ferret or a bird or whatever else that you've brought home, no questions asked, because the pet store has sold them to you.
Right. Or maybe you can't afford to care for
yeah.
them or don't want to take the time because, you can't just shut them off in a room and leave them to fend for themselves.
Absolutely. And so this little guy, we don't know. He came in as a stray, believe it or not.
Whoa.
And our staff actually thought that he might be dead because he wasn't moving at all, because these are animals that need tropical heat and a constant heat source. Whatcom County winter is not
so
the
hanging
place.
around on the side of the road for him is not so tropical.
Right. So thank goodness he was found by a Good Samaritan and brought in, and we were able to put him in the type of an enclosure that he needed. But he is just a baby, and he's going to grow to be 2+ feet long.
Wow, really? That big?
They can get pretty big. They don't get as big as iguanas.
Okay.
And actually, for reptiles, I like bearded dragons better than iguanas. Iguana people don't send me hate mail. I love the iguanas too. But I think the bearded dragons can have more personality, and because they don't get as big, they're a little easier to care for.
Sure, okay.
That being said, they are still very specialized animals.
Yeah,
they need a certain kind of substrate, a certain kind of enclosure. They need 2 different kinds of heat, specialized diet. So they're not a pet for everyone. Also, he is so little, he's kind of freaking me out to hold because I don't want to squeeze him too hard.
Yeah.
So a home with toddlers, absolutely not.
No,
this isn't the pet for that type of household. But for somebody who loves reptiles and can provide them with the type of home that they deserve, I mean, ultimately they deserve to live in the wild. Well, that's not the reality in this guy's case. And so you need to be able to provide them a lifetime home, a specialized home. And then, I mean, you can actually train them to walk on a leash and a harness, and they're really fun. And even he's so young, or she, but there's still, you can see that personality coming out. Quite the camera hog here.
Right.
Yeah. He's posing. Or she.
He or she. And so he or she is going to make a fantastic companion in the right type of household. And of course, this time of year, again, I don't want to be a hater on these stores that are selling animals. I know they answer to corporate stockholders, but please, this holiday season, support your locally owned pet supply stores that don't sell animals. That's, those folks are doing the right thing by the animals in our community, and we want to thank them for not selling these guys.
And don't give animals as gifts.
Yes,
Maybe if
you.
your family all got together and decided this year we're going to get a family pet. That's one thing. But you don't just go to the pet store on a dime and say, I think this lizard looks good. I'll bring it home.
Absolutely. Yeah, we actually will give you a gift certificate, and you and the fam can come down after the holidays and pick out an appropriate pet for your household.
Perfect.
Okay, now you said he needs 2 separate sources of heat. One is a heat rock. What's the other?
There's different kinds. There's a UV lamp that provides a kind of a different kind of a heat, and there's actually a heat lamp, or there's the heat rock, or there's things you can put in the bottom of the enclosures that heat the bottom. So there's all sorts of different types of heat. We have one type of heat on him during the day, and then a a different kind of heat at night that isn't so, it isn't like a lamp, so he doesn't get the light. He can be in the dark and go to sleep, but he can still stay warm.
Gotcha.
And so, again, a good pet supply store will hook you up with all the right things you need. And he also needs certain, he needs things to climb on. He needs a way to burrow into things. He needs as best you can to reenact what his natural habitat would be in the wild.
Okay, and if he's going to get 2.5 feet long, you can't just put him in a little 20-gallon terrarium.
Right.
You're going to need a pretty big enclosure for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And you may have to invest in a couple as he grows, he or she in their lifetime. Right now, just a little guy. But yeah, it's going to get bigger, going to get more feisty. And the more you can handle these guys at this age, the better, because that way, when they do get bigger, they're easier to handle. Right now, he's pretty pliable, but when they do get to be a foot or two, a little bit different situation.
And when he's older, he'll eat children, I assume. But what does he eat now?
Right now, he's eating a special bearded dragon diet. You can actually buy that. And then we supplement that with dark leafy greens because, like every good little lizard, he likes his veggies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mandy's a fan. She loves her kale.
Yep.
Well, who doesn't love kale?
Exactly.
It's a superfood. But the one thing, it's so prehistoric looking, these guys.
Yeah.
They're really cool looking. And it just makes me want to sing Puff the Magic Dragon.
All right, well, Agave is available now at the Whatcom Humane Society. He's not for everybody. He or she, you'll have to let us know, when that all develops. But Agave is not going to be for every home, but just the right home. But if that's your home, go meet him or her at the Whatcom Humane Society. Laura Clark, thank you so much.
Have a great week.